this week's Cruise Chat. I'm Kathleen Penner, owner of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today I'm joined by Stephanie, and Stephanie is from Royal Caribbean. I've had the opportunity to meet with Royal Caribbean two extra times before this, and if you want to go back and look at those episodes, it is episode 9 and 22, but do come back to this one because we've got some really exciting stuff to share with you. So over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kathleen, for inviting me on today. We're really excited at Royal Caribbean. There's so many new things that are happening, things that are starting to move into a great direction. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about all of that today. So if you've never cruised before, cruising is such an amazing experience. It's one of those things that once you've gone on one time, it's like you've drank the Kool-Aid, you'll get it, you'll understand how amazing cruising is. And all are fantastic brands, but there's something special about Royal Caribbean in the way that we offer such a unique cruise experience. So with our 26 ships, we're able to sail all over the world, and we are just starting to get back into that, which is pretty exciting. We inspire adventure. When it comes to cruising, there's things that you can only do on board a Royal Caribbean ship that you cannot do even on some places on land. And then, of course, we do have our land destinations that we offer with our private destinations. So there's something really unique about a Royal Caribbean cruise. But what really makes us stand out is the level of service that you get on a ship. People come back time and time again because of the employees. It's so unique how that works. I used to work on board, and people would come into my office all the time. I was essentially the travel agent on board, and people would book their next cruise and say, where's this cruise director going to be? Where's this waiter going to be? I want to go in and be on a vacation with them again, because they do such an amazing job. They're the unsung heroes, and the reason that Royal Caribbean is so amazing is because of the crew that we have on board.
Absolutely. I don't know how they do it. Like by day 2, your waiter knows your drinks, what you like to have, the type of bread that you prefer. And I'm sitting there like, there's 4,000 other people on this cruise ship. How do you remember little old me? But they do. They're fabulous. I love it.
One of the things I think that stands out the most is in regards to any dietary restrictions, because your wait staff, they get to know you right from the beginning, and you're like saying your likes, your dislikes, especially if you have any dietary restrictions. They do such an amazing job with that. And we actually have 1/3 of our galley that is dedicated towards special meals. So anybody that does have any dietary restrictions, a cruise is probably the best place for you to vacation. But when you're on vacation, where are you going to go, right? We have so many great destinations. With our 26 ships, we actually go to over 300 destinations, and we are adding to those. We have 6 continents, we have over 30 home ports. And now, as we're coming back to service, we're discovering new, unique home ports that we've not utilized in the past. We've got so far 2 private destinations, but there's more to come on that in the next little bit. And of course, all the great destinations have fantastic shore excursions. You want to go off and explore all of the great places. But what really sets us apart is the ships. At the end of the day, all the ships are going, with every cruise line, are going to the same, essentially the same destinations. But it's the ship that gets you there that really makes a big difference. And that's where Royal Caribbean really stands out. We are a multi-generational, family-oriented cruise line. So there's literally something for everybody with our fleet. Sometimes when you go on vacation, you know, if you've got multi-gen, you've got mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, and, you know, the kids, somebody's sacrificing their vacation for the sake of somebody else, right? But not, especially not with Royal Caribbean, with our big ships, our large Oasis class ships. There's literally something for everybody on board. So, and then you all come together at dinner, and that's what makes cruising so great, is that everybody gets to do what they want and then come back together and enjoy that family time. And there's no better time to get that than now, as we're starting to be able to be around our families again. And that's what people are looking at. They want these multi-generational get-togethers, the memories that they haven't been able to have over the last couple of years. So no better way to do that than, I think, on board a Royal Caribbean ship.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we actually have quite a few ships, 26 in total, and they vary us in different sizes. We're known as having the largest cruise ships in the world, and that's the Oasis class, and they are. They're 225,000 tons. They hold upwards of 6,000 guests. And it sounds like a lot, but it's actually not. And I believe one of the episodes that you did in the past was about Oasis class. So there's more details specifically on that. But the ship is built on a neighborhood concept, and there's 7 distinct neighborhoods on board. And while you're on the cruise, you're going to check them out, but you're going to gravitate to the one that best suits your personal style of cruising. And that's why it's such a great vacation for everybody, because there is stuff for all the different generations to do, and then have that family time together. So Oasis class for me is one of my top because I'm also a very active person. There's a lot of onboard activities.
Mhm.
Our quantum class is a little bit smaller, but still offers unique things like having Ripcord by iFly, which is actually skydiving at sea. I mean, who could ever say I've been skydiving in the middle of the ocean?
I
And you
know.
can do that, right? It's pretty cool. Our Freedom class and our Voyager class are big ships, but not super big enough that you'd find your way around really easily after day one, I promise you. And then for those that like a more intimate cruise experience, we have our Radiance class and our Vision class that are able to go to places that more off the beaten path, things like Alaska, or going into the Norwegian fjords, Scandinavia, Russia, and getting in depth a little bit more because of the fact that they are smaller ships. So there literally is something for everybody across our entire fleet. But cruising is a lifestyle, and some people might say, oh, I'm not quite there yet, I need to wait until I'm maybe a little bit older. That happens. That was sort of the thought process back in the day. But
Mhm.
no, this cruising is definitely, especially cruising with Royal Caribbean, something for everyone. Whether you're on your honeymoon, you want a girlfriend's getaway, bachelorette parties, maybe it's just you and one other person that you want to go away. You're going to meet people, which is great, and these sometimes become lifelong friends when the people that you do meet on a cruise ship, which is something that's very different than a lot of other type of destinations. But for me, with Royal Caribbean, what I really love is you can be super active or you can just relax. It's entirely up to you because there is stuff for everyone. And with the activities, the fact that you're not having to pay over and above for them, things like our sky pad, which is bungee trampoline, laser tag, which shockingly enough, you wouldn't think that laser tag is for adults, but my colleagues made me go and do it, and I was like, oh, I don't want to go do laser tag. I turned into a 12-year-old. I wanted to win so bad. Like, you get into it, and you're on vacation, you're never going to see these people again, so go and enjoy. Why the heck not, right?
Yeah.
We've got water slides on the ships now. We've got the rock climbing walls on the ships. And my personal favorite is the flow riders. So 2-second pitch about the flow riders, because they are my favorite thing to do on the cruise. We have boogie board and we have stand-up surfing, and they are complimentary activities. I recommend everybody try it, but if you're going to try it, ladies, you definitely want to wear a t-shirt because that wave can be pretty strong.
Mhm.
However, if
Good
you
advice.
don't if you don't want to try it, go watch the faces of everybody else try it, because they're like, I got it, I got it. Oh, I don't got it. It's actually really entertaining, a whole other form of entertainment right in itself, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, my husband really enjoyed the flow rider. We made sure, though, the first night to get him some lessons. I love the private lessons that you can get. And it's just a group of, 5 or 6 people, but they really work with you and they help you to try and achieve standing up a little bit longer.
Plus, it's not as intimidating because there's not as many people around at night when you're doing it. And of course, you're in the Caribbean warm weather. So being, wet outside is totally fine at that time of, that location that you happen to be in. So not
Mhm.
to worry.
Yeah.
Definitely. But no matter which one of our ships you're on, you're going to find some common features. You're going to find our rock climbing walls. You're going to find our Broadway style shows, or in some cases, actual Broadway shows. There's multiple pool spaces. We've got the Adventure Ocean for the kids. One of the things that I hear from parents all the time is, I didn't get to see my kids all week. They were having so much fun in the kids program, they didn't want to come out. And I want to say to them, well, you're welcome. They're having a blast. You got to enjoy your vacation. They got to enjoy theirs. We have our sports courts, so we'll do basketball, volleyball, soccer, all sorts of fun things there. The casino is open for your donations. They're happy to take them. Comedy club, and of course, many different areas that you can go and eat. And cruising's, there's a lot of food that can be had on board. Some that there's complimentary, and then some that we have as a specialty restaurant. So if you're a foodie, you can eat in a very unique, different restaurant every single evening. And for under $50 per person, it's actually a really good value. You wouldn't get the same quality of food and the same quality of service at home for that price.
Absolutely.
So we're really excited because we are starting to come back to cruising. Our ships are, a few of them are in the water, and by the end of August, we will have 8 ships cruising. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot out of the 26, but the fact that we haven't been cruising for 15, 16 months, this is such a good news story. So now that things are starting to open up in Canada, you might be thinking, it's time to get myself on a cruise. So just to give you an idea of what we've got. So right now we do have our 3 and 5 night getaways. We have them on the Freedom of the Seas that started on July the 2nd out of Miami. We're going to bring back the Mariner of the Seas out of Port Canaveral in the later part of August. Then if you want something a little bit longer, a 7-night, the Odyssey of the Seas, which is our brand new ship that hasn't even sailed with guests on board yet, will start sailing on July the 31st out of Fort Lauderdale, doing our 7-night cruises. Big ships, the Allure and the Symphony of the Seas out of Port Canaveral and out of Miami, August 8th and August 14th. And then the Independence of the Seas out of Galveston, Texas, starting on August the 15th. And of course, we've also got Europe. So we do have some ships that are sailing in Europe starting August 15th, the Harmony of the Seas, which is also one of the largest cruise ships in the world. So it's just such a nice feeling to have the ships in the water. And I've been following it on social media, and our guests are loving it, and the crew is so happy to have everybody on board. If you're looking for something a little bit different, the Navigator of the Seas for us in November is moving to Los Angeles. Now, we haven't had a cruise out of Los Angeles for, I think, 11 years now. So we're happy to have that ship going there she's scheduled to be there until 2023. So we've got 3, 4, 5, and 7-night cruises doing the Mexican Riviera. So something a little bit different if you've not cruised the Mexican Riviera before. And our first ship that came back to cruising was the Adventure of the Seas out of Nassau, Bahamas. So when I was saying before that we were introducing some new home ports, this is one of them. We've never home ported out of Nassau, Bahamas before. So this started June. We'll go through till September. We're going to go Nassau, Grand Bahama Island, and 2 days at Perfect Day at CocoCay, which I'm going to talk about in a sec. It's always something, I know it was one of the episodes, but I still want to highlight it because it is such a key part of our return to service. But 2 days at our private destination, and you can either chill one day or you can thrill one day. And I'll explain that one in a second, but there's lots for everyone to do. Day at sea, Cozumel, Mexico, day at sea, and then ending back in Nassau, Bahamas. So we're really, really excited to have that cruise coming out, or that we've got that one going on. But if you're looking for something really, really unique, this is brand new to us. On the Grandeur of the Seas, starting in December of 2021, we're going to home port out of Barbados. We've never home ported out of Barbados before. So direct flights from Toronto, which is awesome. If there may be people that have connecting flights into Toronto, but we do have direct flights from Toronto that we're going to do a 7-night Southern Island hop. So St. Lucia, Dominica, St. Vincent, Grenada, Port of Spain, Trinidad, and Scarborough, Tobago. No sea days.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Great for a first-time cruiser. If you are a little apprehensive about a sea day, this one's awesome. Or our 7-night ABC islands. So Grenada, Bonaire, Aruba, Curacao, and Trinidad. And then 2 really cool 14-night cruises that we have an overnight in Aruba. So we're going to do St. Vincent, Grenada, Curacao, Bonaire, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, overnight in Aruba, Tobago, and Trinidad. So unique ones, especially if you've not cruised before, these are pretty cool ones to do on your first cruise.
Yeah, and because you're so far south there, you could really get to those ABC islands without too many sea days. So that's amazing.
Exactly. And if you're a cruiser, if you're an avid cruiser, you're typically doing your Eastern and Western. You may not have done too much of the Southern Caribbean. This gets you right into the heart of the Caribbean. From the moment you get off the plane in Barbados, you're in the warm weather, which our winters, you definitely want to be in the warm weather as soon as you can, right?
That's incredible to add the air for that. Wow.
Yep. So we've also started with Europe, I was saying before, just started with the 7-night Greek Isles on board the Jewel of the Seas from July through August. So if you're looking at doing a European vacation this summer, we have it. So we're cruising out of Cyprus, and we've got Rhodes, Mykonos, Athens, Santorini, Crete, 1 day at sea, ending back in Cyprus. But my personal favorite for the Med is going to be, I'm a big ship person. I love our big ships. The Harmony of the Seas out of Barcelona. This cruise, we're going to start on August the 15th, and it goes Sunday to Sunday out of Barcelona, but it's what we call an intra-port cruise. So if you don't want to start in Barcelona on Sunday, you can actually start in Rome on Thursday and do Thursday to Thursday. So if you want to do pre or post Barcelona, you can, or pre or post Rome, you can. So Rome, Palma de Mallorca, Provence, Florence, Pisa, we actually dock in the port of La Spezia, which is about 30 minutes into Pisa. Rome, we dock in Civitavecchia, which is about an hour 10-ish, which everybody has to dock there. Naples, a day at sea, ending back in Barcelona.
Wow, incredible.
Great itinerary. And we just made a big announcement last week that we've got a new class of ships coming out that I know absolutely nothing about because they haven't told us yet. It's called the Icon of the Seas. So in 2023, we are bringing out a brand new ship. So even though we've been on a pause for the last 15, 16 months, we haven't stopped developing. We've, developed these new itineraries. We're bringing the ships back. We're developing these new ships that are coming out. It's just a really, really exciting time at Royal Caribbean to be coming back to service.
Mhm.
So I do want to touch on Perfect Day at CocoCay because this is such an amazing destination. I've been fortunate enough to be able to go here twice since it's become Perfect Day. Just to give you a bit of background, the ship or the island, we actually have two private islands in the Caribbean. We have Labadee, which is in Haiti, and we have Perfect Day at CocoCay. We originally got these islands in 86 and 88. And with CocoCay, it was a one that we would tender into, meaning we didn't have a dock. And for years we would tender in. Part of the problem with the Bahamas, though, is that sometimes there's big swells and we wouldn't be able to make it in. So a few years ago, the Bahamian government gave us permission to build a dock, and it was a game changer. With building a dock, then we decided, well, what else can we come out with? So it is a unique destination. No other private island is anything like Perfect Day at CocoCay, and it is also rated the #1 private island for any cruise line last year, which is pretty exciting. Even though we weren't even sailing, it's been rated the #1.
Yeah.
So the destination's got a lot to offer. And I said before that you can either chill or you can thrill. We
Mhm.
like to say that there's two main things that you could do. If you're a relaxation person, you can do that. If you're one that's go, 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 you can do that. And all of the items here that are in pink, those are going to be your thrill. And the blue items are going to be your chill. Okay. And there is enough time in a day to be able to do both. Throughout the island, if you wanted, it takes maybe about 10 minutes to walk from one end to the other, but there's a trolley that will bring you around. It's fully accessible as well. Something to note also. And a good amount of it is complimentary. There are a few things that there would be a charge for, mostly with the thrill, but a lot of your chill stuff is complimentary. And I'm going to show you a little bit about some of those different things. So we'll start out with chill.
Mhm.
All throughout the island, beautiful beaches. One of the things you think about the Bahamas is perfect turquoise water with white sand. That's what we have here at Perfect Day. That's where I want to be right now if I could be, right?
Absolutely.
So we've got cabanas all throughout the island that you could rent if you want to, but you don't have to. There's a lot of great beach areas that we have the complimentary deck chairs, complimentary umbrellas. There's complimentary dining venues all throughout the island as well. So you can go ashore and it be a completely complimentary day, which is different than when you go ashore, let's say in St. Martin. If you've got a family of 4 in St. Martin, you've got to get a water taxi, you've got to pay for lunch and maybe a drink or two, you've got to, rent your deck chairs. You can have a great beach day at Perfect Day and it be very economical. So there's 3 main beach areas. We've got Chill Island, we've got Harbor Beach, and then we've got at the far end South Beach. South Beach isn't adult only, but it kind of turns into a little bit adult only because no kid is going to walk past the water park to get to the beach. They're going to want to stop at the water park,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
So all the deck chairs here are complimentary. You see that there is a floating bar as well. And if you have our beverage package, that your beverage package works for you ashore. So
Mhm.
does your Wi-Fi package. So you can be posting and telling everybody all about it
Yes.
when you are on, when you're ashore, which is great.
Mhm.
Another area that's complimentary is the Oasis Lagoon. So we have the largest freshwater pool in the Caribbean, and it is completely complimentary. Again, all the deck chairs, umbrellas, and everything is complimentary. Now, if you're used to doing a land vacation and you think if I go on a cruise, I'm going to miss my swim up pool bar day, not to worry, we've got a swim up pool bar in the Oasis Lagoon now. And again, your beverage package works for you ashore here. And there's a DJ and it's a lot of fun. It's a really great spot to go and hang out in.
That pool is something to be seen. You hear how big it is and you're like, yeah, okay, it's a big pool, but it's massive. It's absolutely incredibly huge. It's wow.
Yeah, because if you've got a family, you might not want to be over by the pool bar. There's
Mhm.
so many other spots that you can go into that are a little bit quieter and a little bit more chill as well. Or, I mean, it's not like it's not really a thrill over at the pool bar, but it is kind of a thrill because the DJ and it's a lot of fun and
Yeah.
turning it into later in the afternoon before heading back on the ship. And remember, with our stop at the cruise that we have on the Adventure of the Seas, you can do one day at the pool bar here and maybe one day over on the other activities because we're there for 2
Mhm.
days.
Mhm.
So right before the pandemic hit, we actually opened up our beach club, our Coco Beach Club, which is
Mhm.
awesome. This one there is a charge to go into. It's around $100 US. It accommodates 400 people total in a day, so it is an exclusive location to go into. We have for what you get when you go in here is you get the deck chairs. There is a infinity pool. There's a clubhouse and everything. If you wanted one of these overwater cabanas, there is an additional charge for them, and then we only have 20 overwater cabanas, but you don't have to go to Bora Bora anymore for an overwater cabana. You just need to go to Perfect Day at CocoCay.
Mhm.
So it's so neat. It accommodates 8 guests, and with that, obviously, if you want to split what the pricing is, that's totally fine. And it does vary depending on the season, high season,
Mhm.
Christmas, New Year's, things like that. But you've got the slide in here. You've got an overwater hammock. You have cabana service, so there'll be wait staff that will get you your food and your drinks. There's a freshwater shower in here, as well as a refrigerator and a whole bunch of stuff. It's just such a great spot.
Yeah.
Again, multi-generation for everybody. You know, grandma and grandpa can be relaxing, and
Mhm.
while the kids are splashing around playing, and it's that perfect real estate area where it has that beautiful turquoise water.
Yes.
So in the beach club, what
Mhm.
you have here also is this beautiful infinity pool, and there is a specialty restaurant where your meal would be included when you're in the beach club as well.
Mhm. Fabulous.
So I'm more of the thrill. This is
Mhm.
where, I mean, I definitely go and chill out later on in the day, but first thing when I get off the ship, I love to go and hit the thrill sections, and there's a lot of great thrill areas.
Mhm.
So if you're a little one, or if you're cruising with little ones, we have 2 awesome areas. One is called Captain Jill's Galleon, which is this whole pirate ship. It is definitely a splash zone. It is complimentary for them to go and play in, as well as Splashaway Bay, which is a whole water park for the little ones. We have these on a lot of our ships, but of course it's so much bigger on the island.
Right.
And here, one thing to note, anywhere where there is water, regardless of whether it's on the ship or shore, we have lifeguards. Okay. We also have life jackets available for anybody to borrow. So
Mhm.
just something to note. Of course, we want to make it as safe as possible. And I cannot wait to bring my nephew on a cruise so that I can go play in Splashaway Bay with him, because it looks like so much fun.
It does, yeah. And I love the life jackets are included because that really saves, your packing space because you are limited when you're flying to 50 pounds, but you want your child safe. So it's awesome that that's provided too.
We have them on the ship too, and if you're wanting to take one with you into a port of call, that's completely fine. Just you just need to let the lifeguards on duty on the ship know that you'll be taking one ashore for your child.
Okay.
So within the thrill, there's actually 3 areas that we do have a charge for. You kind of treat it more like a shore excursion.
Mhm.
So we have the water park, we have the zip line, and we have the up and away, which is our hot air balloon. The water park is so cool. So it's 13 water slides, a wave pool, and an adventure pool. And we have the tallest water slide in North America as well, which is what it's called the Daredevil's Peak. It's
Mhm.
about 298 steps to the top. I've done this slide twice. Totally worth all of those steps to the top.
Mhm.
Then there's the ones about halfway through that you cross your arms, your legs, and the door closes and the ground comes out from
Yep.
beneath you. But shockingly enough, the scariest of all the slides, you see that blue slide about halfway up?
Mhm.
When you are at the part that you're going to pull yourself into the slide, you can't see that the slide is there. So for me, that was the scariest of all of the slides. I've done all of them multiple times. I've done that blue one once.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
But it was definitely worth it.
Yeah.
As
On
well
our
as
YouTube channel, actually, my husband brought on the GoPro that we own on all of these slides. So we have a video with all the slides and you can ride with him on them too. So it's kind of fun to follow along.
That's awesome. I'll have to check that out for sure. Over on the far end, we've also got another area. It's called the Splash Summit. So here we've got more slides, but these are ones that you can do with other people. So these ones you're in the tubes.
Mhm.
One of them you can be in 3 of you, and then the purple and blue one, there's 2 of you, and you're both facing forward. And then we've also got the Splash Speedway where there's 4 of you that are racing against each other on a forward-facing mat. So lots of activities and things to keep everybody very well entertained. And
Mhm.
now, as we're coming back to cruising and there's less guests on the ships, we're being told that people are just like running up and down and doing the slides so many times because there's less guests on the island too, right?
Mhm. Mhm. That makes a
So
difference.
Oh, for sure, for sure. We also have the largest wave pool in the Caribbean. It runs every 10 minutes, so 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. You
Mhm.
can see the life jackets here over in the bottom right. You can see where the life jackets are. Umbrellas, deck chairs, complimentary. We've got some cabanas that you can rent here as well. And also, when you're in the water park, we have lockers that are available complimentary for our guests. So just to note that all of your stuff is obviously going
Mhm.
to be safe.
Mhm.
Then we've got the adventure pool, which is these children run across these lily pads like it's nothing. I got on one and it almost sunk immediately. So I don't know how they do it, but it really is a lot of fun to do that. And the whole water park, best to book it early. It's actually best to book it online prior to the cruise on royalcaribbean.com in the cruise planner, because when you do that, if you booked your cruise in Canadian, then that's going to show up in Canadian for you, so you won't have to worry about the exchange rate. And it varies in price depending on the season, but average pricing is around $70 for the day.
Okay. Yeah.
Then we got the zip line. So another cool activity, there's 3 lines that will go all throughout the island. So this is around $100 for the shore excursion, and it will bring you all throughout the entire island. About a 45-minute experience in total from when you move from line to line to line. But honestly, the best way to see the island is actually to go on the up and away. So here we've got our hot air balloon that's going to bring you 450 feet above sea level. Now, you are tethered to the ground, so don't worry, we're not going to pick you up at the next port of call or anything if the wind kind of picks up, but you do get the most amazing view of not just our island, the neighboring islands as well. And then the areas that you'll see that we're not done. We've got a lot more to develop on this island. So it's really exciting, more things to come with it in the near future as we're coming back to service, which is great. The up and away is around $50. This is one thing that you cannot book prior to the cruise. You do have to wait until you're on board because it's all weather dependent. So one thing that you might be interested in is obviously our return to service and the different protocols and things that are going to be coming up around. So if anybody would want to know what's happening, you just need to go to royalcaribbean.com, our website, and at the very top, you see it says returning this summer. So if you actually click onto that, it's going to give you the details of our Healthy Sail Center. So this is where the most updated information is going to be, and things are changing on a regular basis. It's so new as we're coming back. The CDC makes changes on a regular basis, and of course, as people are going and getting vaccinated, etc., things are going to be changing. So if you're planning on cruising, best place to go to find any of your information personally, or obviously contact Kathleen. She's going to be able to find it for you. But on our website, to go to the Healthy Sail Center. We got the details for every single ship, because every single ship, every single country, and even the different various states are having different policies separate from each other. So it's the best place to go is here, because as it's updated, we're able to put it on here. And what we're saying is 30 days prior to your cruise, what we put out on here, that will be what we do for your particular cruise. So 30 days prior to your sailing, you'll be able to know exactly what the requirements are for your specific itinerary and for your specific ship. But one that kind of stands out really is Florida. Because Florida, they're not allowed to ask you if you have been vaccinated. Most of our guests are actually coming on vaccinated. Most are telling us prior to the cruise that they are vaccinated. But of course, there will be some that are not, and that's everybody's personal choice. But we also have children on board. And so we know that a certain percentage of our guests that are under 12 years old are not going to be vaccinated. So with that, there's different guidelines for vaccinated guests versus unvaccinated guests. If you want to show us that you are, that's great for Florida. If you don't, then we're going to consider you to be unvaccinated, and there might be some different requirements. To leave Canada, I believe at the moment you need to be double vaccinated, so it kind of works out for us here. But just to note that is a possibility. We're saying that about 85% of the guests on board are going to be vaccinated, and the majority of those are going to be children. For those that are not vaccinated, they're going to have another level of insurance to be able to cover themselves, heaven forbid, if something does happen to happen. And then for shore excursions, they're going to have to go on one of the ship shore excursions, whereas if you're vaccinated, depending on the port that we're going to, most of them are allowing you just to go off on your own. So there's some different guidelines. I didn't want to go too much into it here, but I did want you to know that you can be able to view this. So for Florida, if you are vaccinated, that's fine. If you are not vaccinated, we're going to ask you to come with a negative PCR test that's valid for 72 hours. If you come to the terminal and you do not have that test, we will be able to issue one there for you at your own expense. So this is for anybody that's 12 or older. Under that, they wouldn't need, we would actually be covering the cost of that. So there will be a cost involved in getting that. Depending on the length of your cruise, you might have to get another test mid-cruise. And then we will be doing the tests at the end of the cruise For unvaccinated guests. For vaccinated guests that need a negative test to go back into their own country, we're going to offer that complimentary at this time as well. So because you do need that to come back into Canada. So just to note that there's differences and things that are changing on a regular basis, but this is where it is as of right now. And we are keeping all of our guests up to date of all of the different policies. You just need to refer to royalcaribbean.com, or like I said, let Kathleen know and she can do the investigating for you as well.
And they change so quickly too. So it's good to have a site that is up to date and just go to be able to grab the correct factual information too.
Exactly. So we do have a month-long offer. We have one every month. This month for the month of July, it's buy one, get one 60% off and 30% off of your third and fourth guest, plus an extra, we call it a kicker, which is up to $150 in instant savings. At the end of the day, basically pick the ship and the date that works best for you. And I know that, Kathleen, that you'll be able to get them the best possible pricing. We always say the earlier you book, the better. Price is dependent on demand. And if you come to a cruise that's going to be sailing shortly, the demand might be higher on it, especially considering we're not sailing with a full amount of guests on board at this time. So just to note that, with that, the earlier you book, the better the pricing, the better the availability that you have as well. And then if you are a past passenger with Royal Caribbean, as long as you physically own a booking by September 30th of 2021, that's going to sail by September 30th of 2022, you're going to earn double your loyalty points. So the more you cruise, the more benefits that you're going to get on board. And if you are a loyalty member, a Crown and Anchor member, you know that you want to be able to earn all these points so that you can get these extra discounts and activities and such on board that you wouldn't get otherwise. So with that, I just want to say thank you. A lot of information in that. Hopefully that got everybody excited about going on a cruise soon.
Certainly did for me. I'm ready to go. Awesome. I can't wait. Thank you so much for putting all that together. I greatly appreciate it. That was just incredible.
It's my pleasure. We are so excited, like I said, to be coming back to cruising. It is definitely an exciting time for Royal Caribbean, and we hope to see you guys soon on board a Royal Caribbean ship.
Wonderful. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great week.
Have a royal day, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this week's cruise chat with Stephanie from Royal Caribbean. It was just fabulous to see some of their new itineraries, but just the fact that some of the cruise ships are back out and they're out on the ocean doing what they're made to do. And that's just amazing. And I'm so happy to see that. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel and you'd like to listen to this as you're on the go, any of our cruise chats that we have, I believe there's, at the time of recording on this one, 51 episodes. So if you'd like to go and listen to the 51 episodes, any of those, we have it on podcast form. And it's on any of your favorite podcast channels. Anything that you like to stream, it's there. So go on and find Cruising the Waves podcast. I'll also put a link down below in the description if you'd like to go and listen to any of our episodes. Next week, I'm going to be meeting with Cindy from Norwegian Cruise Lines, and we're going to be going over their brand new ship, the Norwegian Prima. And I believe she's going to be setting sail in November of 22, but she is already up for sale. So by all means, check it out, see that amazing new ship, and then reach out to me at info@plentyofsunshine travel. Also, as I mentioned during this video, as I was talking with Stephanie, if you're interested in learning more about CocoCay, by all means, come and check out our YouTube channel. I have a Royal Caribbean playlist, and in that playlist, you will find some walkthroughs of some of the ships that you have, a full walkthrough of Perfect Day at CocoCay, and also some of the rides. I don't mean rides, I'm sorry, slides. My husband went down all of the slides. He thoroughly enjoyed it, and he has a video of all of the different slides that they have, and you can just follow along while he records them on our GoPro. So I will see you next week. I hope everybody has a fabulous week, and I'll see you later. Goodbye, everybody.